Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya at UFC 305 is this weekend, and it's a fight that has been on my wish list ever since Dricus beat Robert Whittaker and Izzy went into the cage and went on that tirade. I say Israel Adesanya is going to be intensely motivated for this fight, very driven. This is what he wanted. This is, in my opinion, the reason he initially lost to Sean Strickland. He was so motivated for this fight, so much so that he was in the crowd celebrating Dricus's win over Robert Whittaker, screaming, "I manifested this! I manifested this!" This is a fight that he was really looking forward to and he was really motivated for, only to have it ripped away from him when Dricus du Plessis pulled out of the fight. And for me, that does a lot to a fighter's psyche, especially someone who is a long-time champion, defending. You know, you'd like to be motivated for a fight, and he was until he wasn't. And that's why he lost to Sean Strickland. And I believe in a rematch against Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya wins that fight. Now, this is about Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, so let's get into that. I'm leaning towards Mr. Israel Adesanya just because I think what Dricus du Plessis is good at, Israel Adesanya is just as good, if not better at. So, for example, in the striking department, you have to give the edge to Israel Adesanya. And Dricus du Plessis has a ton of heart, and he has a lot of pace and pressure and things like that, sure. But where Dricus makes his money is when he's able to take someone down and beat them on the ground. He did it to Robert Whittaker. He did it to Darren Till. He couldn't really do it to Sean Strickland, but I also don't think he'll be able to do it to Israel Adesanya. Now, of course, injuries happen in fight camps, and we don't know what each fighter are going into this fight with. So, you know, let's spend as little time on that as possible, and let's just assume that everyone's 100% going into this fight, even though we all know nobody's ever 100%. Now, with that said, for Dricus du Plessis to take down Israel Adesanya is already hard enough. Not many people have been able to do that. And no, I do not count the Jan Blachowicz fight at light heavyweight because, of course, it was at light heavyweight. This fight is at middleweight. Israel Adesanya is his best at middleweight. So let's pretend like the light heavyweight fight never happened because it really doesn't apply here. This is a middleweight fight, and yeah. So anyways, nobody's been able to do that to Israel at middleweight. Nobody's been able to take him down, hold him down, and do ground and pound the way Dricus would like to do. The way Dricus did to Darren Till, the way he did to Robert Whittaker. Sure, Robert Whittaker was able to take down Israel Adesanya, but he wasn't really able to do much damage. I'm talking about their second fight, of course. He took down Israel Adesanya, and he kind of held him down for a little bit, but again, he really didn't do much damage. And to me, it's hard enough taking down Israel. Then you have to hold him down. Then you have to be pretty confident that you've got him down, you're holding him down. Now you got to posture up and do big damage to him. That's a hard thing to do. We have not seen it done yet in the middleweight division, and I'm not sure if we're going to see it this Saturday night. Dricus du Plessis, I like the way he carries himself. I do get... this is going to sound blasphemy, but I get George St. Pierre vibes from him, at least in the way he carries himself as a sportsman, as someone who represents the sport of mixed martial arts, the UFC, and things like that. You know, he carries himself really well. With that said, I don't see him doing much on the feet against Israel Adesanya. I think he's going to be pretty open to a bunch of different attacks, whether it's leg kicks, jabs, snapping his head back. I could see that happening. You know, he did eat a lot of jabs from Sean Strickland. If he could eat jabs from Sean Strickland, why wouldn't he eat jabs from Israel Adesanya? The feints of Israel Adesanya may confuse him. Now, of course, if anybody could land a punch and knock somebody out, but with that said, that's not Dricus' strong suit. He doesn't really have many one-punch knockouts on his record like that, at least not at the big level of the UFC and in title fights and in contender fights and things like that. Again, his bread and butter is taking someone down, beating them up on the ground, and then when he's finished with that, the fight changed. In my opinion, when he fought Robert Whittaker, when Robert Whittaker got up at the end of that first round, he was a different man. He had a lot of fight taken out of him. Same with Darren Till. He changes your face. He does damage to you. He makes sure whether your nose is busted, your eyes are blackened, he will hurt you and do damage to where maybe you're questioning yourself going into that second round. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you're questioning yourself on if you want to continue the fight while he's on top of you, being as heavy and strong as he is, rehydrated to whatever he rehydrates to after weighing in at 185. You get me? So with all of that said, can't take anything away from Dricus du Plessis, but I'm gonna say I believe in the greatness of Israel Adesanya because he has shown us greatness. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not the biggest fan of the way he talks and his promos and the cringe, blah, blah, blah. Not the biggest fan of it, but he's going to be motivated for this fight. This is the fight that he wanted all along, and he's finally got it. It's here. And in my opinion, we may see the best Israel Adesanya coming up very soon, and we're going to see what happens. Could I be wrong? Have I been wrong before? Yeah, sure, of course. Watched the sport since 2009. I've been watching the sport, you know what I'm saying? I've gotten a lot right, I've gotten a lot wrong, and I'll continue to get more right and wrong. But this sport is unpredictable. It's crazy. At the end of the day, we're just talking over here, having fun, talking about some of our favorite sports. You get what I'm saying? So let's not take it too seriously. But yeah, I'm going with Israel Adesanya for this fight. I can't wait for this fight. And let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, whether you agree, disagree. It really doesn't matter. Just join the discussion, follow for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.